I've driven down that road that the Atlas never saw. I plowed the fields that didn't yield a damn thing in the fall. I've broken bread with kings and insulted all their queens. I've done everything that's good and bad and everything that's in between. Well, now I've gone astray from my own damn crazy ways. Lord, I've gone astray. I ain't known no other way. Come on. I've been to my breaking point and back so many times and I just won't break. I've been bailing water on a 20-foot trawler from the bottom of a lake. I tried to fail and I failed to try to keep my mind away from wishing to die. That cemetery, it ain't so scary. I'm the one who's getting planted tonight. Well, now I've gone astray from my own damn crazy ways. Lord, I've gone astray. I ain't known no other way.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Huddle.
What's up?
I'm RB.
I'm Smitty.
And next week, I promise, Bubba J's going to make his return next week. We're going to have props, but this week's show, awesome show we had last week. Smitty did an incredible job editing the Jack Tocho football camp show. This week, Smitty, Firethorn Country Club, man, we're playing the big time.
We are.
We're playing.
We are.
Yeah, so we're doing the show here this week at Firethorn. Beautiful day out today as we record, and we're overlooking the practice green and the driving range. And
So you'll notice me looking this way every once in a while.
if you see Smitty going that way,
eyes
he's
will be just focused that way.
probably watching somebody hit some balls. We already know that Smitty gets easily distracted.
Hey,
So
swirl.
what? Oh, all right. Oh, we're back. So, but awesome, like I said, awesome show last week, and we couldn't be happier to be here at Firethorn. Smitty, it's you know, as you know, and probably most of the people who watch the show know, I work here at Firethorn. I'm on the maintenance staff, and this is my backyard every morning. When the folks see the pictures that I send, that I post on Facebook of the sunrise, of the beautiful flowers, all this stuff, it's like actually like it's like I told somebody this morning. This morning I put my usual early morning picture up on Facebook saying good morning to everybody, and somebody had commented, a friend of mine had commented back and said, wow, you know, such beautiful pictures and views. I said, well, I live in a crappy apartment complex with no yard of my own.
So
This is my yard right
nice
here.
yard.
This is my yard, folks. Come out to Firethorn sometime, seriously, and check it out. Book an event. Buy a membership.
It's great.
You know? I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful golf course, and we're doing a lot of work to improve it as well. And next week, on next week's show, we're going to have some people here that work at the club and talk about, you know, the improvements, the events that are going on here.
Right.
But a lot of side work, a lot of
stuff.
yeah, we're doing a lot of improvements, and it's getting there.
Is that normally what happens during like the summer? Is a lot of side work?
You get some areas. The thing about it is you'll get some areas that if you get a harsh winter, that they'll die off a little bit, and it's just that to reseed it doesn't always take as well. You're dealing with Bermuda grass, which is picky. You can't really seed Bermuda grass anyway, so you truck sod in and you put it down in squares all over the place, and basically what it is it becomes a really big jigsaw puzzle.
Ooh, that looks like fun.
It's fun to look at, and it's fun. It's fun to watch it. It's fun to watch it go together. As a matter of fact, if you look out, Smitty, I mean, our viewers can't see it, but in front of where they're hitting off the mats today on the driving range, that's actually the upper tee, and you can see where the sod. That's brand new sod.
That's brand new sod.
That's why they're hitting off the mats right now, because we've sodded part of the range tee here.
And it looked like some of the around the putting green.
Yep, around the putting green we've done a lot of it, and a lot of it going on the course right now. So, like I said, folks, Firethorn already was beautiful, and we're making it more beautiful as the day, you know, each day out here. Just awesome place, and the home of the first annual Huddle Celebrity Golf Open
All right.
will be at Firethorn next March 25th. The date is set, and it will be here, and it's going to be an awesome event. I got a lot of really, really cool things planned, and I might as well, excuse me, I might as well say it now because I haven't even sent him the message yet, but my plan is I would like, it's a stretch, I would like to get our boy Scott from the Grit Gang. I would like to get the whole Grit Gang down here to play, not only play in the tournament, but to play in the after party for the Open, for the Huddle Open Celebrity Golf Tournament. So, and more details are going to come out. The sponsorship levels are already set, so we're going to talk a lot more about that as the weeks go by. Excuse me, but the one thing, what we're doing, Smitty, as you know, with the cornhole tournament that we have in October and our golf tournament that we're having next spring, is we are creating 12 scholarships, folks. 6 scholarships are going to go to Garinger High School. Very good, Smitty. And 6 scholarships are going to go to Independence High School. And this is the way we're going to create them, folks. It's going to go to student athletes graduating in the class of 2019 for each school.
Okay.
And one of the guaranteed requirements that we know of right now, and we'll come up with a whole list so that way we can work with the schools, but one of the requirements is that it will be a student athlete who is moving on to college to play in their chosen sport. And this is how we're going to break it down. The 6 scholarships are going to go to one boy and one girl from the fall sports programs, the winter sports programs, and the spring sports programs. So
4, 6.
Right. So 3 boys and 3 girls from Garinger High School will receive a scholarship, and then 3 boys and 3 girls from Independence High School will receive a scholarship. And this is all going to come out of the money that we raise from our 2 events that we have going.
All right.
So, folks, if you want to play if you want to be a part of our cornhole event in October, if you want to play in our golf tournament next March, if you want to be a sponsor, because this is where the money's coming from, folks. We're doing this all for the kids. We're not doing this for me and Smitty. You know, we're doing this for the kids. This is something special in our hearts that we want to do, and we want to create more events and more fundraisers, and this is where we're starting. So if I stress it again, if you want to sponsor, if you want to be a part of the event, you can contact me at 845-633-2272. You can contact Smitty if he would like to add any information to that.
828-302-7501. I'm sorry, it went completely over my head.
Smitty was probably watching somebody on the range there.
I was just thinking, and
but
golf.
Contact either one of us. Contact us through our Facebook page. Go to @thehuddleclt. Check us out. Again, we stress, like our page, but share our page, because your friends aren't always our friends on Facebook. And if we can attract your friends as well, then our group grows bigger and we can create these events that we're trying to create. So, with that said, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. It's the boom. I have a birthday coming up. I told you this just before we started recording the show. But it's not the birthday you're thinking of, because my actual birthday, the day I was born, was September 10th. But I have a rebirth day coming up next week. Okay? Next week is the 3rd anniversary of the day I quit drinking. And it got me thinking this week, because, you know, obviously, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I don't buy into once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. And I know that people say, oh, well, you're never cured, and I'm not addicted to alcohol anymore. I'm not, because I'll never have a drink again. And I can say that, and people say never say never. I'm never going to have a drink again, because I don't have the desire to, I don't want to, and I lived through it for long enough that it's not something I want to do. But it got me thinking about the way, especially at the end of my drinking, the way I used to go about it, and sitting in my car, you know, hiding it and hiding how much I was drinking, and, you know, sneaking around. Because this past week, I had a couple different instances where I saw people doing the exact same thing I was doing for so long, and it kind of saddens me in a way, and it also, you know, it just kind of makes me look back. It's like, wow, how much of a jerk did I look like? Because I guarantee you, if I'm seeing people doing the same thing, people saw me doing the same thing. You know, and I mean, the other day I saw, you know, I don't know the person's name, so it's not like I'm calling him out, but I see this person go like sneak out on the other side of a vehicle to have a cigarette. You know, and I've seen people in my travels, you know, on a daily basis, you know, sneak around in different places just to have a drink. And I'm thinking, you know what? If that's the way you're going through your life, and I'm not being a hypocrite because I did it for years, but if that's the way you're going through your life, well, if you have to hide what you're doing, chances are, one, you probably shouldn't be doing it, and the other thing is, you're ashamed to be doing it. So, change is possible. Like I said, July 28th was the last day I drank. I went out with a bang. I mean, I didn't play no games about it. I drank a gallon and a pint of vodka in 6 hours. And the reason being is because I basically, and I've said people on this show, I've said it in person when I speak to people, you know, I tell my story all the time. I basically sold everything I had of value to keep drinking because I ran myself broke by continuing to drink and drink the amount I was drinking. So when I got to that day, I knew I was quitting drinking. I knew I was done with it. Yeah. But I still had a gallon of vodka and a pint of vodka in my possession. And I said to him, I said, self, I'll be damned if I'm pouring this down the drain. Because I went broke. I sold my memorabilia collection. I work at a golf course again, but I don't own golf clubs because I sold them. I sold my bowling equipment. I sold everything. There's no reason for me to keep the list going. I sold everything I had to continue drinking. You know, so that I was drinking that alcohol. And I drank it all in 6 hours, and me and God had a little heart to heart, and I said, this amount of vodka, which is a very dangerous amount to drink, should kill me. It should kill me if I drink all that in one day. I drank it in 6 hours. But I said to him, I said, but here's the deal. I'm not necessarily looking to go. I was committing suicide by proxy. I didn't want to. But the thing about it is I had also accepted finally accepted that point where if I went, I went. And I was fine with it. But if he was going to allow me to stay here, then I was going to change my life for the good, and I was going to make a difference in other people's lives by telling them my story and telling them what I did. And that's what I'm doing now, and that's what the show is all about. We've talked about working with the kids. Yep. You know, and 3 years on July 29th will be my first day sober. Wow. So, I mean, it kind of comes all full circle. So that's the one for today. When we come back, Smitty, this past week was the All-Star Game of Baseball. I want to do a segment on that, and I'm going to surprise you with a couple numbers to start off the segment. I want to get your feeling on the All-Star Game, the whole weekend's festivities. All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little baseball. And we're back on the Huddle. RB,
I'm Smitty.
and water bottles because Bubba J's still on vacation apparently. Like I
Making
said,
left turns somewhere.
I know, he's full of left turns and he can't figure out how to circle back to get to us.
Well, I mean, at some point he's got to take a right and get off on the exit.
Yeah,
At some point.
Well, we've had Bubba J on the show. He's not all that smart, so. But hey, like I said, this week we're here at Firethorn Country Club. We're overlooking the practice green and the driving range. Driving range is full, man.
It is.
There is a bunch of people out there hitting balls. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I just got done working a little while ago. The course is packed.
Yep.
And the course is packed full of golfers. It's a beautiful afternoon, and the course is getting beautiful.
Well, it started off as like a gloomy day, like a perfect day to come out because it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cool. It's cool.
Well, the start
Not
of
too
your
cold.
day. The start of my day, it was sunny. Start
Well,
of
also,
the
I'm
start
living
of
an
the,
hour and a half
the,
away,
the,
so-
the start of my day every day at Firethorn. It's dark. It's dark every day when I get here.
That's my day at Milk.
But
It's dark.
yeah, but I mean the actual start of the day when we were out on the course today, I get actually where we are right now. Where the driving range is right here, and that green over there, which I know I'm pointing at stuff, folks, and you can't see it, but
Somewhere over
that green over there is the 18th green, and the green over here on
What's
the
this,
side is
ninth?
the 9th green. When I get to the 18th green and I shoot back in this direction, that's where I get my sunrise photos from. So anybody who has seen my sunrise photos that I post on my own personal page and every once in a while on the Huddles page, my sunrise photos come from when I am changing the cup on 18 in the morning facing back at the sunrise. That's where I get the beautiful sunrise photos. And the beautiful flower pictures, by the way, that I get are all over the golf course that I get from around the clubhouse, from some of the beautiful trees that we have here out on the golf course. All those awesome views that I take pictures of and put them up on
They are
Facebook.
beautiful.
They're all from here. So that's what you get when you come to Firethorn. It's a gorgeous view. It's a gorgeous golf course with a pretty good challenge to it. I've been a golfer all my life, and I got to say, the fairways are tight. The fairways are tight, man. They are not wide fairways.
So they're not going to want me to play in this tournament in the spring.
Well, what we might do for the golf tournament is we may have to put up, just like a driving range, put up some barriers. So that way Smitty can bounce it off the side. We'll have like arena golf.
I love hitting houses for some odd reason. It's
hey,
not my fault that I
we're-
hit it. It just happens.
We're inside a community, so you got chances to hit houses.
Yeah, I don't know if they want me playing this.
Nah, we'll get you out there. Believe me, there's worse than you to
I'll
play.
do the putt and I'll do the chip. And I
Well,
can do that.
it'll be a four-man captain crew scramble type format. So,
I guess maybe I don't have to drive or anything.
exactly. I
I
mean,
just throw it.
well, you throw it, and then when you get up to the green, you can putt. So,
Okay.
so this segment, like I said, this past weekend was the All-Star Weekend Extravaganza.
It was, you know.
I don't know. How do you feel? I mean, how much? Let me ask you. Let me start with the first question. How much did you watch?
Less than I thought I was going to.
How much did you intend to watch?
I wanted to watch all of the home run derby. I made it up to the Bryce Harper and Freddie Freeman round, and then it was just done.
Okay.
Because watching Bryce Harper hit those balls, you knew it didn't matter who he was going up against.
Yeah.
He was winning the home run derby.
It was so, in my opinion, and friends of mine, Joe Asanio, we're still trying to get you on the show. The guy is so busy. I mean, they're having.
Busy man.
Well, the Hudson Valley Renegades are having their. I saw that they were having their summer pitchers camp this week. So I tried again this week to get Joe on the show, and he's busy with that. But Joe actually posted on Facebook, and I happen to agree with him. It was so rigged that it wasn't even funny. I don't even know how many people are aware of it with the home run derby, but because it's timed now instead of done by outs like when it originally started out, because it's timed now, you are not allowed to throw the next pitch until the ball lands.
Ball hasn't landed yet.
Yeah, well,
The ball,
yeah.
but still, Bryce's dad was still pitching.
I mean, seriously. I saw highlights. First of all, you answered the question, so I'll answer the question. I watched some of Kyle Schwarber hitting in the finals.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I watched.
Because you knew
I-
it didn't matter.
I knew it was going to be rigged. I don't get into any professional sports all-star games.
Okay.
I don't get into. I used to. I gotta be honest with you. I used to.
Well-
I used to get in the home run derby. I used to get into All-Star weekend for the NBA with all the skills stuff, the dunk contest. I used to get into all that. To me, it's played out. It's old. I don't like the games at all. I can't stand any of the All-Star games.
Well, the ones that are just a joke are the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah.
Those are just they're not there. But I mean, for years the MLB All-Star Game had a.
I used to.
This year, I think they got rid of it though, right?
Well, last year they finally got rid of how it determines home field advantage in the World Series. I just don't get, even though they got rid of that, I still, and I mean I had guys of my personal interest. Aaron Judge, I'm a Yankee fan. Aaron Judge, Luis Severino, both in it. Aaron Judge homered. I missed it.
I saw it.
Luis Severino pitched a scoreless inning. I missed it. I actually did. I watched one inning. I'll admit.
Okay.
I did watch one inning. I think it was like the 6th inning.
Okay.
I watched a full inning.
Okay.
That was all I watched the whole game.
Okay. Well, I got all the way up until the end of the NL East pitchers.
Okay.
Because it was first.
They all went in a row, didn't
First
they?
2 innings was Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
Second inning was Jacob deGrom.
That's right.
Third inning was Folksy from the Braves. 5th inning was the dude from the Phillies.
Gotcha.
I was like,
okay.
It's an NL East pitchers.
That's right. They did line them all up.
I was like, what is going on? I want to see some guys from out west. I want to see some Central guys.
And that was the other thing that bothered me about this year's home run derby. I mean, there was 8 guys in it and 7 guys from the NL, and I'm like, I just don't have an interest in it. And getting back to the rig thing, here's my take on the rig thing. And like I said, Joe Osanio said the same thing. The balls weren't even landing,
and he was already swinging.
He hit. What was it? In the last 45 seconds, or no, last 55 seconds of the finals, including his bonus that he got, he hit 12 home runs. If they were going by the rules,
that's impossible.
It's impossible. He was hitting 900-foot home runs.
He really was.
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, I saw some of the highlights. His average distance was 420 feet, and he hit something like 9 450-foot or more home runs. So if you're hitting balls that go that far, there's no possible way he could have hit 12 home runs in 55 seconds. But they were breaking the rules. Why were they breaking the rules? Because it was Bryce Harper in his home stadium, which could have possibly been for the last time, because he's going to be a free agent. So, I mean, I'm all for it. Because it's supposed to be about the fans, and if that's what the fans wanted to see, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
It broke the tie this year because both teams are 43-2. Yeah. 43-2, and
I mean, so it's like.
And also the NL hasn't won in 6 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
What's up with
that?
But
here's the number. Here's the number from the All-Star game that I want to throw out, because this is the All-Star game. The All-Star game is exactly what baseball is today. This is exactly what it is today.
Fastball, swinging, home run over 425 feet.
What was the final score? 10-8 or 8-6? 8-6. 8-6 in 10 innings.
Yep, that was it.
Final score was 8-6 in 10 innings. So you had 14 runs scored. Played 10 innings of baseball.
How many of those were solo?
There were 20 total hits in the game. 10 total home runs. 25 total strikeouts.
Oh my word.
That is the epitome of today's baseball, if there ever was.
Yeah.
Because all you see in baseball anymore is strikeouts, home runs, all solo shots.
Yep.
I've never seen, it's amazing to me when you think about when the end of the year comes, I want to see how many guys end up with 40 or more home runs this year, which they're on a record pace, because there's a million guys over 20 home runs already.
Yep.
I want to see how many guys end up with 40 home runs and don't have 100 RBIs by the end of the season. Because they're not going to. I know, there's noises behind you, Smitty. There's also a squirrel, so watch out. But I mean, when you think about, I mean, you're not that young that you wouldn't remember, but think about the days before there was 140 home run guys a year. If you had 30 or more home runs, you basically had 100 RBIs.
Yeah.
If you were good enough to hit 30 home runs, you were good enough to get hits when guys were on base without hitting a home run.
It's because the coaches were trying to get guys on. They were trying to at least advance the run.
Yep.
I mean, Players were not worried about their stats; they were worried about winning.
Right, and that is my, to get off my soapbox, to finish up this baseball segment. That is my biggest thing, because we have so many people calling for the end of the shift and a modified rule for the shift. I've heard Tim Kirchin and other sports writers say that they'd like to see where all the infielders have to start on the dirt. They can't play on the outfield grass to start. I've heard a million different variations. Now the players are coming out and saying that the shift is virtually unhittable against, you know what? I'm not going to use the word I want to use, but that's a crock. That's an absolute crock, because baseball, as it was played before the shift, players went the other way. And I'm not talking about bunting. I'm not talking about guys who have the potential to hit 30, 40, 50 home runs a year going up and bunting, because I disagree with those guys bunting too. But you know what? When you got 2 strikes on you, you can cut down your swing and you can take that pitch on the outside corner the other way, especially when the whole infield's playing on the other side. You can hit a weak ground ball to second base and get a base hit and drive in a run, or even better yet, not just make an out. The least productive thing in baseball is a strikeout. No action, nothing can possibly occur when you strike out. Any other thing that you do in baseball, an action can occur.
Yep.
So don't tell me that the shift is not unbeatable. Every once in a while, cut your swing down and take the ball the other way.
I know the action that comes from the strikeout.
Yeah.
Your butt walking to the bench and
Exactly.
sitting down.
Exactly. You're right. Becoming an assistant coach, because as soon as you strike out, you can go sit down.
Yep.
It just, I mean, like I said, it bothers me because, I love baseball so much, but baseball's becoming unwatchable. I can honestly see why people clamor so hard for football season when you're in the middle of the summer, when baseball should be so exciting, when the pennant races should be so exciting. I mean, my God. Manny Machado just got traded to the Dodgers, and I don't think half the country cares because they're tired of baseball, because of the way it's played. Not because of baseball, it's because of the way it's played. And you get all these analytics people who, and I said I was off my soapbox, and I go on for 3 more minutes.
He went up higher.
Well, I hate these analytics people. Oh, well, this is the way. Yeah, it's the same thing as teams that can't shoot a 3-pointer in basketball, but shoot it non-stop because that's the way the game's played. You know what those teams do? They lose. They lose. So let's wrap that up. Let's move on to some basketball, speaking of that, when we come back. So we'll take a break. You're watching The Huddle. Check us out on Facebook at The Huddle CLT. It's the same thing for Twitter. So if you choose Twitter, it's at The Huddle CLT. It's the same on YouTube. So at The Huddle CLT, you getting the point. We're also on Instagram too. We'll be back. And we're back on The Huddle. Smitty over here still watching the squirrels run around. Oh, well, he's still watching some people on the range, but
I'm watching these kids
I gotta tell you,
shots down.
It is pretty cool. In between segments, we noticed there's 3 youngsters on the range, and they are hitting flop shots from the range to the putting green, which I don't want to turn them in or anything. Not supposed to be doing that because there's a chipping green over on the other side of the range. Now they're going to be making ball marks in our beautiful putting green. But anyway, they are hitting some awesome flop shots, Phil Mickelson style. As a matter of fact, just before we came back on, there was a kid who actually hit a ball straight up in the air, and it came straight down, and he was able to catch it. And folks, I'm talking about from the distance. I'm going to say these young lads, the 3 of them, might be.
Oh, I just saw a big old divot right there.
I'm going to say they might be 10.
I'm thinking 10.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Smitty there. They might be 10 years old, and the one kid went all Phil Mickelson, hit a wide open sand wedge, straight up in the air, looked up, ball came down and he caught it. So I mean, there's some talent out here too. But all right, Smitty, let's do a little. I'm gonna do 4 quick hitters for you.
Boom, boom, boom.
And I'm gonna do 4 quick hitters. Get your opinion on this.
All right.
NBA style.
Ooh.
All right. First one.
All right.
Word just came out in the last day. Michael Porter Jr., who slipped to number 14 in the draft, went to the Denver Nuggets because of back issues, is now going to have his second back surgery before he ever plays an
actual professional
NBA game. Do we smell a whiff of Philadelphia 76ers in the air? Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons style?
I'm kind of scared for the Nuggets and what can happen because you don't know what could happen with the back surgery. I mean, he could be fine for maybe 10 days, 15 days, and then all of a sudden he does some little tweak and he's done.
I'm with you on that. I'm thinking, if it's other issues, if it was a knee, if it was a...
I mean, you at least have a timetable with your knee and your elbow.
With big guys, I mean, he's 6'10". I don't even like foot issues because we've seen a lot of big guys, 6'10", up to 7 foot, have foot issues.
Big time.
Back issues at that big of a body? I don't know, man.
Scary.
I think we can see why a lot of teams passed on Michael Porter Jr. would have been the top 3 pick. He would have been a top 3 pick if he didn't have the original back issue.
What was he projected last year? Because wasn't he coming out last year?
Well, last year he was projected in the top 5. And he basically he missed a whole college season.
So
because of the back issues from this year.
Who was the one telling him not to go last year?
I don't know.
That's the question.
I don't know, but it cost him a lot of money. I can tell you that right now. All right, second quick hitter.
All right, boom, boom.
Jabari Parker says that players in the NBA are not paid, keyword, paid, to play defense because he's dropped 30 and 20 on guys who supposedly are great defensive players in the league. What do you think about that?
I laugh because he's a dookie for one. I'm sorry to all my friend fans.
One of the reasons I can't stand him.
And on top of that, wasn't it also that he said that offense is the one that creates championships?
Yeah, offense wins championships. He just signed a 2-year, $40 million contract, getting $20 million a year from the Bulls. So Jabari, you're telling me that guys don't get paid to play defense? I mean, I don't want to mislead you or anything, and I know that they're an incredible offensive team, and I know that that's what the biggest highlights. What is the squirrel that's running around now? He just got done picking the range.
Oh, okay. That's I was like, what is that golf cart?
No, he just got done picking the range. He actually, there's an area, he didn't drive across the putting green.
Okay.
Smitty's ready to turn everybody in over here. But I don't want to disappoint you, Jabari, and I know they're an incredible offensive team, but the Warriors, through this run that they've been on in the last 5 years, oh, by the way, over the course of those 5 years, they're the #1 defensive team in the league. #1.
Well, I can understand his statement though.
I understand that
because there is no defense in the NBA. Because when you see games over 100, you're just like, what happened? Why? It seems like that's the All-Star game. You can always tell in the NBA All-Star.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of defense played, but there's some. And this will lead us in. This is called a segue, folks. This will lead us into the quick hitter number 3.
Boom, boom.
Very good, Smith. Kawhi Leonard, who, oh by the way, Jabari Parker, made his money, cut his teeth, earned his bones by playing defense.
Good defense on that too.
By the way, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. That's where he made his money. So if you tell me that NBA players don't make their money playing defense, I'm going to disagree with you. Not all of them do because not a lot of them play defense. Okay. But getting back to Kawhi Leonard.
All right.
The trade is not official, but basically finalized to the point where they're just working out, crossing the T's, dotting the I's that they're doing with the Toronto Raptors. That Kawhi Leonard is going to be a member of the Raptors. But word comes out that he's talking about sitting out and not playing for the Raptors. Hey, Kawhi, didn't you just sit out and not play for the Spurs?
I feel like
they could have used you.
That's going to hurt him, though, for not playing kind of 2 seasons. I mean, yeah, he'll still train and stuff, but He's missing out on game time. You gotta have game time.
But you know what he's not missing out on, Smitty?
Get paid.
The dollar. He's getting the dollar.
Yeah, he is.
You know?
Yeah,
so I lost a lot of respect for Kawhi Leonard with everything that happened last year because you couldn't have been in a better organization. No. You couldn't have played for a better coach. Nope. Some of the comments that he's come out and made, against the Spurs, against Pop, I know that a lot of friction was caused, but he caused it. He was medically cleared. He was medically cleared by everybody except for his people.
His people wanted him playing Fortnite.
He walked.
That's what he wanted. He wanted to play Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, he walked, man. He walked when his team needed him the most. So I lost a lot of respect for the guy. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, Kawhi, sit out for the rest of your career and get paid, man. It ain't my money that I'm paying you, so
nope.
Don't mean what's to me.
Now, did you see when LBJ, LeBron James, for the people who don't know who that is?
That was going to be my quick hitter number 4, by the way.
I beat him to it.
He boom. He beat me to the quick hitter.
There happened to be a mural out in Los Angeles for the team, and it was defaced several times, repainted again.
Several times,
and now the owner has decided to completely take it down.
Throwing in the towel.
I'm done.
I'm throwing in the towel.
I mean, the mural was awesome, but at the same time, you had to have known that there are going to be a lot of people out there that just wanted to just mess something up that has the king all over it.
I want to get your thoughts because I know it's kind of old news. Hey, by the way, if anybody hasn't heard, LeBron James is now a Laker. Just breaking news on the Huddle. We're bringing the hard stories.
This just in.
LeBron James is now a Laker. Come on, really? No, I mean, but seriously, we've never talked about it. I mean, what are your thoughts about him becoming a Laker? Because I know, to be honest with you, it pissed a lot of people off, but I don't think they have the right to be mad.
I was going to say, this is the first time I heard somebody talk the other day. This was the first time that he's actually doing this for him.
Yeah.
Every other time it's been for I guess, family or for the team or for something. I think this is for him.
I'm cool with it, man. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Sixers fan. I wanted him to sign with the Sixers. We were one of the teams. Although he said the talks never got serious. Whether they did or they didn't, I wish they would have. I want my team to win. I don't like LeBron.
Did you see
I like him as a man, not as a basketball player.
There was something that I read that he had 3 teams, 3 top teams.
Yeah.
Lakers.
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah.
Hornets.
Yeah.
Hornets.
Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, holy crap, we had a minuscule, but like a chance to get the king?
Smitty, again, I'm a Sixers fan, but I live in Charlotte, so I have a lot of interest in the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do a great show with Big Pat, still a great friend. We've had him on the show. So I got a lot of interest in the Hornets, and I got to be honest with you, and I'm kind of impressed that he came out and said that. But to me, it made sense. One, he's big. He's a big Kemba guy.
Yeah.
It was pretty upfront that if the Cavaliers could have figured out a way to get Kemba,
he was staying in Cleveland. Yeah.
And he has said that to a lot of people. He is a big Kemba guy.
God, it just.
By the way, don't be surprised if Kemba lasts the season with Charlotte and becomes a free agent, which is why I've been saying all along, trade Kemba before you don't get anything back. Don't be surprised to see Kemba in La La Land the following year.
But I read something the other day. I think he's wanting to stick it out here in Charlotte.
If they can put something around him, I would think that's a great idea. But do you want to play your entire career here for nothing?
I think Miles Bridges that's something.
I think
he's going to help out.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see? He had a good summer.
Yeah,
he had a great summer.
Well, it's got to continue though, and the thing about it is time is running out because you're talking about needing to not only convince Kemba to resign, but also convince him that you're going to put something around him.
Yep.
But and like I said, LeBron, I didn't have a problem with him going to the Lakers because you hit the nail on the head. He's doing this for him, man. He's played enough years in the NBA.
Yep.
He's played enough finals. He's done everything he needs to do. If for once in his life he's finally making a decision for himself to be happy for the how 3 or 4, however many more years he feels like playing.
He could play for another 10, I feel like.
I mean, come on, the guy's an Adonis. I mean, he could play until his mid-40s and probably still be productive.
Yep.
I mean, you look at the physical condition; he's a freak. But I mean, why not? If the Lakers is where if he wanted to go play for the Barcelona Dragons, and by the way, you should be impressed that I know that they're the Barcelona Dragons. I don't know why I know that. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. I am.
But there's also a Barcelona basketball team. I said like there's a Barcelona soccer team.
Yeah.
And they wear the same colors.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So I mean, if he wanted to go play for them, who cares? This guy has done more than what he has ever needed to do to satisfy everybody else. So who cares, man? All right, so that's it. What we're gonna do is, I like that quick hitter idea, by the way. We're gonna have to do more of that. And you beat me to the 4th quick hitter. That's messed up.
Hey, I win.
So what we're gonna do, like I said, we're here at Firethorn Country Club. Awesome show today. Hopefully we're gonna make this a permanent thing. We're gonna have a little talk with the people here. But as we said before, this is the home of the first ever Huddle Celebrity Open Golf Tournament, March 25th, 2019, where we will be creating 12 scholarships for combined between Garinger High School and Independence High School. People get involved with what we're doing. We need players, we need sponsors, we need merchandise for our raffles. Anything that you can give that can raise money for us to give to these scholarships, we need it. So with that, let's talk a little NFL when we come back, and then we'll go to the closing.
All right.
Cool. We'll be back. And we're back on the Huddle.
I'm Smitty.
Crazy Smitty over here. Definitely Crazy RB. There's no doubt about that.
We're all crazy.
We got problems. Believe me. Little NFL talk.
Ooh.
Smitty.
Are you ready for some football?
Everybody is. Believe me. You can't go on social media. Like I said earlier, I know that summer's down here in the South, and I'm sure other parts of the country, especially where they don't have Major League Baseball. They've got professional baseball here in Charlotte, and the Charlotte Knights are, they're a great watch. It's fun. I love minor league baseball, but man, you get to the middle of July, people are jonesing. It's like an addict on the corner of the street. People are jonesing for football right now.
I think that's because the South is predominantly football.
I mean,
it's football area.
And the funny thing about it is, to me, it's more college football than the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, I know here in Charlotte, you got the Panthers, so I think that may be a little different. But I think your stronger allegiances are definitely in college.
Definitely college.
Because you live and die with your school.
Yep.
Especially in the South.
Yep.
When you're talking ACC land, SEC, I mean, people it's a way of life. It's not. I don't use this word. I root for teams.
Yep.
I don't pull for teams.
You root.
But people down here, they pull for teams.
Well, the funny thing is, I know when I was looking up in New York City, college football. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't big as it is down here, where you tailgate 2, 3, 4 hours before a game, like you would in a professional game.
See, that's the thing, and it's it's just like any other walk of life. I mean, people, women complain about men, and I tell people all the time. I tell women all the time, not all men, because I'm not one of them. Northerners with college football. They always say, oh, well, people up north in the Northeast, they don't get into college football. Not all of us Northerners, because I love college football. Love college football. I can't wait for the start of it. But I get in. See, my problem is with both the NFL and college football. My biggest problem is for me being such a big baseball fan.
Okay.
It's the way my sports go. I love the sports themselves.
Okay.
But my attention for the sport ends when my team is not playing anymore. Well, the fortunate thing for me being a Yankee fan is they're good again. So my season extends a little further. And it's tough for me to get into. I can get into college football. I mean, I can still get into college football even with baseball going on. And even though college football is only 1 day a week, pro football is only 1 day a week, I can't get into the NFL. And I am a humongous Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan since Tony Dorsett's first year, and I can't get into the Cowboys until the Yankees season is over. So
it's not gonna be October,
right? I mean, you're talking. It could be 2 months into.
And you've missed out on
2 months into the Cowboy season. I could miss the first 8 games. I'm not gonna miss the games, but I mean, as far as like being diehard and I could not be totally into the first half of the season before the baseball season's over.
Oh, see, now me, with the Braves sucking the past several years, it's been
I
hard.
turn it off. I don't watch the playoffs. If the Yankees don't even make the playoffs,
really,
I don't watch the playoffs.
I'll watch the wild card.
I watched
the one wild card game.
Last year when the Yankees lost in the ALCS, I didn't watch the World Series. I
think I watched maybe.
Then I was ready for some football.
But no, I think I'm able to go through, have my baseball, and then at the same time watch my Saturdays, and then on Sundays got my normal football.
Yes, yeah. See, that's the thing is, not that I'm ever home, but
I think it helps that I have ADD that I can just go from.
But see, that's the thing is like middle of September this year on a Sunday afternoon, if I was home, and I got the Cowboys or the Yankees on, I'm watching the Yankees, dude. I'm watching the Yankees.
I don't know why, but I'll be watching football.
I mean, if the Yankees play at 1 o'clock. And I watch the Yankees until 4 o'clock. I'll watch the 4 o'clock football game and hope that the Cowboys are playing at 4 that day, or that they're playing on Monday night that week. But,
well, that happens a lot because
which always happens because we're America's team and we play in the primetime, pal. You know, we play in front of the lights.
Even though
we don't get caught up playing with the peons. We play in the lights.
You'll play in the lights, but you haven't done it in 20 years.
That's my one and only time. I'm not like other that's another situation. Not all Cowboy fans are idiots.
No,
I'm not one of them. I actually do believe that sometimes the Cowboys should lose and will lose. I actually do believe that Jerry Jones is a terrible owner. I am not one of those Cowboy fans that says, "Oh yeah, every year we're going to win the Super Bowl." No, we're not. We're not going to win it this year, and we're probably not going to win it next year. But you know what? It doesn't change the way I think about the Cowboys. I am not one of those guys. So. But, you know, like I said, as of the day of the taping of the Huddle, 49 days away from NFL football. 49 days. And I'm telling you what, it is going to amp up quick. I think it's going to, I'm telling you, I mean, we're going to do as we get closer when we're in training camp, we're going to get into doing a full NFL preview.
Okay.
You know, we'll do what we've done in the past with doing a full preview, like picks for each team, where they're going to finish in the standings.
All right.
So I don't want to get too crazy with it today, but I think, I think it's going to be interesting, and I think the potential is going to be high for the Panthers this year, especially on offense.
I'm a little bit concerned about. I know DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I know Steve Smith is so high about him.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit worried. I feel like we didn't really. I know Cam is an overthrower a lot, but we needed more help in the line. I feel like he's still going to get destroyed this year.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is the line obviously has to be healthier than it's been in the past couple of years, and you got to get better production.
Yep.
You got to get better production out of the younger Khalil, or any for that matter.
Well, this is Matt's last year.
Yep.
So he wants to go out on a bang.
You know, so I mean, you got
I hope he does.
You potentially got Greg Olsen playing his last year. You potentially got Thomas Davis playing his last year.
Yep. No, I think he's envious.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, but he's also come back in the last few weeks because of the suspension to start the season. He's actually come out and said that he could be convinced to play another year. Let's put it that way. He hasn't totally opened the door, but you know, it'll be interesting to see because really this nucleus that they've built over the course of time. This could be their last year for that nucleus to play.
They're getting older.
Now that time I had to look.
It's somewhere behind.
It was one of our card guys. But I mean, it could be an interesting year. Yeah, their offensive line has to play better. But the thing about it is, if they truly do play the North Turner style offense that he brings,
it could be high.
Then
high octane.
it takes a little bit of the pressure off the offensive line because it's a faster moving.
Yep.
I mean, you look at go back to the Cowboys. You look at Troy Aikman's days with the Cowboys. You had that big running attack, obviously with Emmitt Smith, but it was a high energy, quick paced. Not a lot of time in the pocket.
I was going to say, get it
Troy
out
Aikman.
of
I mean, Troy Aikman took his share of hits and had his share of injuries, but it wasn't week after week and year after year. It was a higher pace, faster pace type of offense where you don't set up in the pocket as long.
What do you think of the C.J. Anderson signing?
I think it was a good signing.
I
think the days, for the most part, I think the days of one featured back are gone. You look for backs that can do multiple things. And I think that they did a good job. I think they did a good job offensively. Maybe, like you said, maybe not the offensive line upgrades that they needed, but everywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere else they upgraded at tight end as far as depth. They definitely updated at wide receiver as far as
three
depth.
guys.
I mean, they didn't add a star, and people are like, "Oh, they needed a star." No, they needed bodies. Wide receiving core, they needed bodies, and I think the guys, Torrey Smith, going and getting Torrey Smith, I think is going to be a great signing. DJ Moore, I think, was a really good draft pick.
He's fast.
You look at what they did with the wide receivers. Look at what they did with C.J. Anderson with the running backs. I'm not convinced that McCaffrey's ever going to be an every down back. Plus, it goes back to what I said.
Well, if you can have two featured backs,
to have one featured back, I'd rather have two.
I wouldn't mind having C.J. Anderson on one side, Christian McCaffrey and Cam in the middle. Those three. Who's getting it?
I mean, how much?
Are we running?
How much zone read that they're going to run? I don't know because North Turner has never really been a big zone read guy. It's the style of the NFL, and you have the quarterback who can run it. But if you're looking to reduce his hits and pick and choose a little bit more when you're going to have Cam run, we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's some question marks on the defense, but I mean, question marks are always there health-wise. So one thing is, if you want to take a positive spin on Thomas Davis' suspension to start the season, he's going to be fresher at the end of the year. He's going to play less games.
I like that.
So I mean, you can take a positive spin, and the one strength of the Panthers that that they have is linebacker. So I mean, if Thomas Davis plays 12 games this year instead of 16 games, and he's fresher in the playoffs, you know what? Maybe that suspension worked.
I'm a little bit worried about Luke, though.
I'm always worried about Luke, to be honest with you. I just sorry, it's a head injury.
It is.
It's a head injury, and it's a persistent head injury. So, we'll see what happens. But that's that. Like I said, I don't want to get too crazy right now with the NFL because we're going to do a full preview, and then obviously during the season we're going to talk a ton of football. But why don't we take a break and then we'll come back. We'll thank everybody and close it up, wrap it up for the week. We'll be back on the Huddle. All right, Smitty, we're back on the Huddle, and it's come to that time where we wrap it up. But one thing I did want to mention, well, obviously, I want to give thanks to the staff here at Firethorn Country Club. Thanks for having us here. Awesome time. Been watching people out there practicing, groups coming in off of 9 and 18. Some people checking us out, which is a good thing. That's what we want. Again, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all by going to @thehuddle CLT. That's @THEHUDDLE CLT. It's very simple. And when you go, check us out, but make comments. Send us comments, things you might want to talk about. You might want to hear stuff we talked about. And then, especially on our Facebook page, we're up to 332 followers, Smitty.
Right.
About 5 months ago, I want to say, 4 months ago, that number was at 50. So we're getting there, but we want to add a few zeros on the end of that 332. So let's keep building, folks. Talk about us. Let your friends know. Share us. Okay? This is how we build what we're doing. This is how we're going to build the fundraising events that we're trying to build.
Yep.
So that's it for this week's show. Thanks to everybody here. Thanks to everybody watching. Thanks to our regular sponsors, Rachel Worthy, Diane Faulkner at Nails to Die For, Carrie Ann at Country Shine. Am I leaving anybody else out? I think that we got that. We're good to go. So we're ready to wrap it up. Smitty, you got anything you're doing this weekend sports-wise that you're interested in? That kickball tournament's over with, so...
there's no more soccer.
The kickball tournament.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing.
I had to throw one jab in.
It's
I didn't say nothing about it, but the kickball tournament's over, so Smitty can go on and watch real sport. No, I didn't say that. Soccer's an awesome sport, folks. It's just not my sport.
It is. So. It is way too much running for me now.
Exactly.
And way too much running. I don't think I can do it.
This fat boy, soccer.
I'd like to go back out and do it. But
we don't do that. So
this foot couldn't handle it.
That's it. We're out of here. So for the Huddle, for RB,
I'm Smitty.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.